How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Swordsmith Village Arc episode review. Today's episode is episode 7, Awful Villain. Before I go any further, please do not forget, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Be notified of more videos like this one. Hit it like you would hit a villain. Sorry that this is a tad bit later than what I usually do. It's con season, so had an ace in this past weekend. And coincidentally, since, this is Demon Slayer, yeah, you've seen this one, but I had to pick up my boy Tanjiro right here. Look at him. Look at him. I do. There is one where he's doing Hino Kami Kagura. I will certainly get that one sooner or later. I just didn't like the price that they had it at the con. No. You gotta hate markups. So, you know how I know that a series is good? I'll tell you in a second, Nesco. The way I know a series is good is if I can instantly remember last week's episode without actually needing a refresher. Because one of the best things that I like about this show, the opening, it's a recap, but it's not really. It's just flowing right into the next thing. And last week it was Genya. Genya wants to be in Hashira. We get his backstory, and we get Tanjiro being supportive. Then Genya letting go, just going, "Hey, you do it. I'm gonna back you up." Blah 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 blah. And this, we got Tanjiro trying to finish cutting off the head of Hatengu, right? Trying to cut off that neck with that burning red blade, but from behind him, or actually it's not cutting through, but someone is behind him, right? And from behind him is a whole other demon. He's like, this doesn't smell like another one, because we get the different colors for them, right? You get the red anger, the blue sorrow, the yellow joy, the green pleasure, and this one's black. And what Tanjiro doesn't see is what we see is Hatengu stick out his tongue, and it says fear. Oh, okay, that's the fear demon. So that means that this is another one. That means it's another emotion. Not quite. So, by the way, fear, the Hatengu that we know, screeches loudly. Tanjiro's used to this by now. And unfortunately, that burning sword stops becoming burning. And it's just, his neck is too tough to get through. Genya can't shoot what's coming at him because he would hit Tanjiro. And out of the ground burst these wood dragon heads. I could make a Naruto joke, but these things look so cool and so gnarly, as you can see in that small footage right there. And this is actually, I wrote this in my notes on not my phone notes, but in these notes here. It's such a cool scene of him dodging the wood dragons, and then they're trying to bite him. He's running up it. He's slashing around them, and Nezuko has to save him. Of course, she gets her arm and leg bitten off, but it grows right back. And what we see now is the hatred demon. Apparently, he has a name. I haven't heard it yet. So for now, for me, he's just the hatred demon. But this guy was formed. Genya saw how he was formed, because he said the anger demon was right in front of him. Somehow Jedi force pulled both pleasure and joy, absorbed them, grabbed sorrow, and he said, it looked like he was protesting, absorbed him, and then transformed like old school Broly. And what I mean by that is, in the original Broly movies, well, the first Broly movie and second Broly movie, Bio Broly, we ain't talking about that one. But when Broly goes into Legendary Super Saiyan, he's literally ripping out of himself. This is how this hatred demon looks coming out of anger, which I guess the next level of anger would be hatred, wouldn't it? It's just ripping, not even ripping like this, but just coming straight out of the shell. And one of the things I love so much, and I say that so much, but Tanjiro, his frustration is felt, and it's so organic, because he literally goes, another one, another demon, enough is enough. And then he goes, wait a minute, the others aren't here. And this so first of all, this jackass protects Fear, little punk, with wood. And when Tanjiro's like, well, wait, he's like, damn, hold on a second. And he calls Tanjiro and Genya awful villains. And so Tanjiro, first of all, this guy's pressure, his overall, I won't call it spiritual pressure, but his presence is overwhelming. Because Tanjiro's kind of shaking a bit, but Genya is feeling it heavily. He's like, I can barely stand. Why can't I move a muscle? And this, I like this because it's showing the difference between Tanjiro, who is basically Hashira level, lower Hashira level, and Genya, who is, he's done well to live this far. He passed an examination, but he's lived this long and he's done so well. And this is the difference between them, because Tanjiro's still moving, but he admits that there's the pressure there. Now, when Tanjiro asks him, what do you mean by awful villains? He says, you're picking on this small, weak being here. How could you even live with yourself? Tanjiro goes off. And I quote, don't give me that. The scent that you're giving off, you haven't just, it's not just 100 or 200 humans you devoured. You devoured scores of people. What did those people do to you? Did they do something that they had to pay for with their lives? Don't you dare play the victim card after killing and eating scores of people. And I was just like, yeah, I love, this is a kind-hearted and cool person. And the fact that when he senses the hypocrisy coming his way, he's not afraid to play. Hold on, let's cut through the BS here. You have no right to be saying that, right? And Tanjiro says, yeah, you're twisted through and through, and you won't get away with this, you evil demon. I'm gonna be the one to behead you. Ooh, he called him this shot. He's like, I'm cutting that head off. The music for this whole entire scene, because we had our little transition, the break to come back. Music for this entire scene is fantastic. Sometimes the music gets past me. I know one of the musical moments I remember was when Tanjiro first used Hino Kamikagura against the string demon. That was a great musical score. Him, Uzui, and Inosuke and Zenitsu versus Upper Six, that whole thing when they were all trying to do it at the same time, cut off the heads at the same time, that was a great musical score. This is a good musical score as well. You're like, is that all you gotta say? I'm gonna cut your head off. And he asked, what connection did Tanjiro have to any of those humans that he ate? What? None. Okay, were they your family? No. He's like, this has nothing to do with you. And Tanjiro's like, that's what I'm talking about. Obviously, if you don't understand that a person doesn't need a reason to help another person, you're bad, you're evil. I'm gonna get rid of you. And yeah. So, he said, then you're the fiend. That's something you can't understand, then you're the fiend. Obviously, this little jackass didn't like it, and we get a nice little transition because he sends the wood demons and he slices. That is I don't want to say first half. That's like maybe the third. If we're going to chop it up, Tanjiro's part gets a third. And it's really good. That's just, because I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here yelling at my screen going, how in the hell is this evil demon thing going to call them awful fiends? What? So I love it when the mangaka, when the artist and writer gets ahead of us and it's like, yeah, no, this is probably how you're gonna feel. This is literally how our main character feels. Brilliant. Now our second half, our meanwhile, is we're going right back to Tokito Muichiro. And Muichiro, our boy is blossoming. He's becoming more of a normal human being. He's still drowning, and I thought it was a water bubble. No, it's a water vase now. Now that we got a wider scope picture. It's a water vase. Different type of jutsu. And he tries to do the first form mist breathing, which is low clouds, distancing haze. He tries to stab through it. And he's like, the thrust technique's not working because my sword is chipped. And And I do find it interesting that he's using the last bit of air in his lungs. So their breathing techniques get in the air, but I guess if they get, I don't want to say constricted. I guess if you're in an area with less oxygen, you use what you have. I like that little detail there. And while he is literally sitting here, I guess dying, saying, man, I hope they sent backup. I hope they sent help. You need at least 2 Hashiras for us to deal with any of this, right? And someone, Tanjiro appears, and Tanjiro's saying to him, you don't know what the future's going to hold, because he's thinking, well, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to die, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, is this another one of those moments where he's like, you see the person in front of you and wonder what they would say? No, someone's actually said this to him. And he's like, Tanjiro, you never said that to me. And throughout this whole time period, he's just kind of, I don't want to say he's arguing with this person, but he's having a conversation with someone who Tanjiro has taken the vestige of this person. Or they have taken the vestige of Tanjiro, where he's going, you don't know what the future holds. You'll be saved. Don't worry, Muichiro. It's going to work through. I promise. In between this part, we're back. We're in the hut. We're in the shack where Gyoko, the upper 5, said, yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going in there to see what the hubbub is. Hanamori tries to attack him with a hatchet. No, he gets the water whiplash from the vase that Baby Arms Eye Mouth has. Pretty strong. And inside is, I always get his name wrong, Haganezuka. This guy is still working on this blade, and I don't want to say he's mumbling to himself, but he's speaking to himself, talking about, its sharpness. This blade is amazing. The materials is amazing. He's like, why is there, but with such a great blade, why isn't the artisan's name on it? Why is it just one character? And he's like, oh, I get it. So Gyoko's like, water lash. And he's bleeding. They're both bleeding, but he's bleeding, but he's still going at it. It's the whetstone with the sharpening. That's what this motion is. And Gyoko's like, what? And Hanamori's like, we gotta leave. Does another lash. He's not moving. And he's lashing so much that it's, first of all, his back is to him. Breaks off his mask. Haganezuka. He is actually hot. He looks hot, so there you go. You wonder if underneath those masks, if they're all a bunch of ugly dudes. No, he is Inosuke level of, why is this pretty dude such an a-hole? And he going at it, and he's saying, I understand why there's only one character, because this sword was made for a sole purpose, and the smith, the artisan, just had that in mind and was just singularly focused on making the best blade. Gyoko is like, I can easily kill this guy, but as an artist, he's making me feel inferior. I don't even have that level of focus. I've never had that level of focus before. And so his whole thing now is to get Haganezuka to break concentration. I'm not going to kill you right away. I want to make your concentration break so I can feel better as an artist. This is literally the vanity demon, if I've ever heard of one. Because he was, for lack of better words, he seemed like he was getting off on Muichiro beginning to drown in there. Just like, oh, that stoic expression, I can't wait, but I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Stay there, though, drown. I'll be right back. Back outside, we have Kotetsu with his own hatchet, or with his own, I guess, call it a hatchet, butcher knife. He's trying to break through this thing. He's trying to slash through, and he's like, I'm going to get you out, Tokito-san. This thing is nasty. It's rubbery and watery. He's going at it. And then, Muichiro can't speak. So in his mind, he's like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You have bigger priorities. Go save the chief. Oh, wait, you probably wouldn't be able to do that. But in that case, you should be getting away. Muichiro can see behind him. We have another small fish, tiny fish, demon thing, obviously made by Vase head. And this thing has like blades for hands. Like not pincers, they're just straight up curved blades. And he's trying to warn Kotetsu. And this is one of the, ever since he saved Kotetsu, he's got more facial expression because he's going behind you. He's like, no, you gotta look behind you, turn around, because this. I'm kind of surprised he found the energy for that, because his vision was going blurry. He was getting ready to pass out from the lack of oxygen. And unfortunately, the kid gets cut. He gets stabbed. I love that because they are Hashiras. They are high-level swordsmen. They know the anatomy of the body. You got stabbed in the solar plexus. That's a vital place. You need to be putting pressure on it. He's like, stop trying to get me out of here. And he's getting beat up to the point where we see Kotetsu's face behind the mask. Well, we see a little bit of it behind the mask because he pulls it off, goes to this vase, breathes in it, and sends the bubbles towards Muichiro, who then breathes all of it in. And we get the flashback to the thing that Tanjiro did say to him, saying, excuse me, saying, whatever you do for others comes around to help you in the end. Which, hey, look, you saved Kotetsu. If you hadn't saved Kotetsu, you went straight to fighting Gyoko. He'd put you in the vase and you probably would have drowned. But this kid's coming. He sacrificed himself seemingly to free you from this. And as he takes the air in, another person, the person who was Tanjiro, comes and says that humans are creatures who can summon unbelievable strength for the sake of someone other than themselves. Muichiro. Same eyes as Tanjiro. And he's remembering who it is. And now he does the second breathing mist form, which is 8-layered mist. Really cool name. The omnidirectional attack that you will see in the opener. And he's out. Still has those barbs stuck in his face. I wish somebody would just pull those out so he wouldn't, look like he's in so much pain. But now he's thinking, he says, I remember now, Tanjiro, you have the same eyes as my father. Bum, 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 bum. Again, remember his crow said that he has direct lineage to the first users of the sun breathing. So technically him and Tanjiro are probably distant cousins. Maybe 2 or 3 times removed. That's actually pretty interesting to think about, that more than likely they're cousins. Given that Homeboy's dad had the same eyes as him. He probably takes more after Tokito, probably takes more after his mother. So yeah, that was where that episode ended. It was a nice, it's not like a whole, oh, I'm about to attack, just like the last, what's the last 2? I think the last 2 outros, or the, oh no, I'm about to die. It's interesting to go, you remind me of my dad, you got the same eyes, cut. The Taisho secret of the day is Haganezuka training as if he's a swordsman, as if he's Roronoa Zoro, with weights and push-ups and climbing up mountains. And Kotetsu's like, is this really required to be a swordsmith? And he says, hey, the swordsmen are putting their lives on the line with using your blades, so the most you could do is pour your everything into it and work hard and make a good blade. Kotetsu gives us the Taisho secret, which is that knife that he chased Tanjiro with. He actually made it, and it's super sharp to the point where he doesn't want to use it for cooking, which Kotetsu teases, goes, that's kind of pointless, isn't it? And then he gets chased with the knife. And our next episode is going to be the Mu in Muichiro. Funny enough, I think Mu, if you look at words like Mu, I think it might be emptiness or infinite. I'm trying to remember if it's emptiness, because I know Mugen is infinity. So I wonder what the Mu in Muichiro stands for. I'm excited. It's a good episode. It gets a 4 out of 5. It's funny because when you try to think about standard, like what's the standard for Demon Slayer? And Demon Slayer doesn't, for me at least, doesn't drop below a 3. Barely touches a 3. It goes, it's normal is 4. And then when you have still the best episode of the season, episode 5, when you have those are just skyrocketed. So it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's a 4 out of 5. I'm hoping, especially what really made this was Tanjiro's speech. The little details we get, such as, oh, that's the fear demon. Oh, hey, here's the difference between Tanjiro and Genya. One can withstand this pressure, the other cannot. It's not really small detail, but the fact that Tokito is slowly getting back those memories, which seem to have been jump started by Tanjiro telling him, hey, help other people. I'm being kind to you, even though you knocked me out, but you should help people because that's the right thing to do. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I've had a great time. I know Nesco's had a great time. She showed up in the episode. Looks like it's kind of funny. I think she might be the only way that Tanjiro is going to be dodging these wood dragons. But yeah, regardless of that, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Thank you once again. Please take care of yourselves. Be good, be blessed, wash those hands. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk, all right? And my social medias are right there at the bottom. Feel free to follow me. Hit me up. I'll talk to you. Just don't be a jerk like I always say. Remember there's someone out there that cares about you. So reach out to someone if you're not feeling too well. If you're feeling alone, trust me, there's someone that will rather talk to you today than miss you and warn you tomorrow. All right. Well, with that, guys, I'm Shane, and the Taisho secret is I'll be back.